Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Business Conversations with Charles, and it's really going to be an amazing time with my special guest, which I'll read his bio in a minute. But just want to appreciate everyone that has been able to hook up so far with the several series we've had, especially May. May has really been a very loaded month. I think April. I think we started with we start with Dr. Elvis Ebuyere, the CEO of Skywise, and then we have Mr. Abubakar Ningi, which was really quite explosive. And to crown May is a titan. Is a very special person, to my family and our business as well. So I'm really excited to have no other person but Mr. Richmond Martins. I'm going to be reading out a bit of his bio in a bit so that you have a very strong awareness of who Mr. Richmond is. But if you're just hooking up, please, I'd also encourage you to just share this link with as many people as possible. It's important that we get to engage in conversations that can, add to our lives. And so this is actually one of those conversations, and I believe it's really going to be an amazing one. So if you're hooking up on Facebook, wherever you're hooking up on, please just ensure that you share the link to few people so that they get to be part of this amazing call. So my guest tonight is Mr. Richmond Martins. Mr. Richmond Martins is American by birth, an Austrian by choice, and in his own words, Nigerian by heritage. Amazing thing. He has his roots stretching from Nigeria through America to Austria. His journey embodies the spirit of cross-cultural connection. From serving in the U.S. Army during the Balkan War to finding his heart's home in Austria, his path reflects a truly global perspective shaped by his African American heritage and European presence. He's a serial entrepreneur who has helped numerous people and pioneered different international opportunities in over 3 continents, and a force to reckon with within diverse industries, especially in international travels, financial markets, cryptocurrency, and name it. In other words, he's someone that's well prepared for the future that a lot of people are yet to enter. So, Mr. Richmond, it's really a pleasure to actually have you at the call this evening. Thank you so much. For everybody watching, wherever you're watching from, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, like we said. Thank you, Mr. Richmond. How's your day? How's your day going, rather?
Oh, I thank you so much. Thank you, everybody that is here on this platform. It's awesome to have you guys. Yeah, my day is going absolutely wonderful. We're having almost 28 degrees in Vienna. This is just absolutely wonderful.
Whoa.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Today we're going to be actually looking at some very important things. The theme for today's business conversation with Charles is building financial leverage in the 5th industrial revolution. How Africans can take advantage of the global economic shift, to build wealth. And I'm really so glad to talk about this topic. And I know no other person. Let me just put a background before I throw a question to Mr. Richmond. One of the things we do at the Business Conversation with Charles is to have honest conversations and conversations that cut across different age groups, that cuts across what people are actually yearning to know. We're in the midst right now of so many billions of people that are looking for the next big thing. And in looking for the next big thing, a lot of people are not conscious of the future that they desire and the future that they deserve. And so one person that I know has really been a pioneer in the midst of so many things that has to do with new technology, especially when it comes to the investment aspect or the legacy aspect of our lives. And by the way, when I say legacy aspect, legacy would not make sense if your success doesn't become viral. In other words, one of the ways to show the worth of the value that you brought on earth is that you're able to articulate your presence, articulate your potential, your purpose in such a way it has effect on massive number of people. And there's no better way to do that than without having money. let me leave it in that perspective. So, Mr. Richmond, just starting with the first questions and just giving them. I'm going to go into your background first, or maybe let me even start from there. How did you get to make the choice to not just be the normal kind of human being, that's just okay with, oh, okay, yes, you're American, I have everything. I have the 401k. I have I have my benefits, life insurance, on all those beautiful things, that you guys always have, social security and the rest. How did you not stay in that comfort zone of having all that? And you are thriving every now and then to ensure you're looking for the next best opportunity and taking advantage of those opportunities. So
Right.
what's your story?
Where do I start from? This is you got time? Anyways, yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Charles. The story is a very, very unique one. I mean, being birthed over there, PG County, Hyattsville, in Maryland, and started my journey. Of course, I came from an African home, so you can imagine it was. You don't try any mess, you get a serious butt whooping, and but we had faith, we had God. Let's just put it that way. And having that groundedness from home actually propelled me into wanting to aspire to be the best. I mean, it's just I don't know if you know the black parents, when you come back home and you have a B or a B plus, they go ballistic on you. And it's like, what happened to that guy that got A? You know? And it's always the case, but it's just one more. Yeah, who cares? But at the end of the day, that made us really work very hard and aspire to be something great. I mean, I come from a very humble background. My parents weren't that wealthy. They had just a little bit of foresight to be able to be there. And after talking to some friends and realizing that the best way for me to be able to get into this world was to get and to have a GIB, a future for myself, is probably to get into the military. And of course, be all you can be. They were paying for your university and stuff like that. Why not? So I, got in, enrolled, and yeah, got into, uh, you know, I was then contemplating, where do I go? Do you want to go to the Navy, or you want to go to the Air Force, or you want, But one thing that ever fascinated me while I was in school was height. I could never get it how planes take off, and it was just I was just so crazy. I wanted to be an aeronautic engineer, and so getting into the military, it wasn't possible. So I ended up joining the Airborne Rangers, and I was posted to Fort Bragg, joined the 82nd Light Infantry, battalion over there under Major General Gainers. He was my platoon commander. And then I was, and he said to me, son, what do you want? And I said, well, I just want to go to school and, just be able to serve my country. I said, okay. And at the end of the day, I ended up being a Longhorn from UT, Texas. And after that, the first assignment I got was to go abroad. And I got shipped out. So that's just basically my stories, and yeah. And now I'm stuck here and I love it here because let's be honest with you, Europe is technologically so advanced, but keeping the archaicness of the past. So when you come into Europe to be able to see what had happened in the First World War and the Second World War, you will probably appreciate a lot of things, you know. And in America, it's all bling bling and all the glamours. We have basically not that much history like we do have in Europe. So I just felt this is home for me. It's quiet, it's peaceful. I was tired of the noise, and That's why I got stuck here. I think you're muted.
Oh yeah, that's really quite a whole journey, an amazing, amazing story. What's your philosophy about finances? It's one thing that has kept a whole lot of people on their toes. People have to work for money. People have to try to strive to find what's the next big thing and stuff like that. So, what was your philosophy been about money all these years?
I go by a saying from one of my mentors. I don't know if you've heard of her. Her name is Helen Keller, and she was asked a question, and what's the worst, being blind? And this is something that has guided me all my life. And she said, it's having sight but no vision to guide you. You have to have a vision. You have to have a 10 years plan. You have to have a goal. It's like you putting a ball at the goalpost, but on the other side, you've not even hit that ball, but you know it's going to go into the goal. For us as Christians, what do we call it? We call it faith. Just believing in something that you don't even have in the present, but you know you're going to get it. So that has always been my driving force.
Wow, that's cool. Now, like you already know, with the business conversation with Charles, a lot of people actually get to hook up and they want to hear a unique story. They want to hear something that they can resonate with and go home with.
Mm.
And so the reason why I actually asked that question, and you said something that's very key. I think that's Helen Keller that says, the most dangerous thing in the world is to have sight but lose vision. And that's really powerful. So in other words, from what you're saying, it's not about the money we make today. It's about ensuring that that money is pregnant with a lot of itself tomorrow. And so I know you are actually at the very heart of new technology, a lot of I know you're in the midst of a lot of new technology and a whole lot of new things that people need to get aware of. I believe that one of the problems we have in our world today is that people are not aware of essential knowledge that can actually help them to take advantage of opportunities. I know we had a conversation recently, and you were telling me about a particular event that was sponsored with a company that you're a principal person with. And one of the guests there was the vice president of the United States, JD Vance. And
Right.
so, in your own words, what is the missing link? I'm more particular right now about Africans, and within Africa, very particular about Nigerians. What do you think is the missing link? Because let me just qualify so you know where I'm going to. We see quite a lot of people want to go into Ponzi schemes. People don't want to take the advantage of wanting to learn what it takes to find the right investment opportunity or find the right opportunity that can give them, consistent wealth or generational wealth. They are looking for how to get rich today. We're looking at a research recently within my company, and one of the things that we got is that a lot of first-time millionaires that actually come from more of investment or financial freedom-based opportunities, their wealth never lasts more than a year. Why? Because a lot of times they don't know how to replicate. Have seen you do a lot of things. If I'm allowed to say, I know that over there, it's easy for people to talk about mortgage. People talk about, but I know that you have some major real estate deals and stuff that were built on crypto. So what is the difference? What is working for you that's not working for a lot of Nigerians? What's the missing link?
Okay. A couple of things, actually. And one thing I'll say is discipline.
Mm,
You know, let's put it this way. The most important thing is education. You asked the question, what is working here and it's not working in Africa? we are so prone to be rich that we don't take the time to learn to be rich.
Mm.
There's a difference
Wow. Can you say
between
that again?
we are
Wow.
so prone to being rich and not taking the time to learn to be rich. And
Mm.
it goes into the feed that says discipline is a tax that you
Mm.
pay for success. You know, you have to pay the success. And it's often said that success isn't owned, it is the rent that you have to pay every day.
Mm.
You have to work on it. That means you have to constantly upgrade yourself to the to whatever that is going on right now. So
Mm.
you and I know that in this 21st century right now, AI is the biggest thing that is going on.
Yes. Yes.
But honestly speaking, how many people have taken that time to learn the core competencies about AI in the first place? Because we don't learn, we don't read. And what I'm talking about financial literacy. You don't teach these things in the university, in
Mm.
the schools and stuff like that. It's just basically learning from people like you that are mentoring a lot of people and teaching them wealth value. Many
Mm.
people don't have the patience to learn. So they dabble into a lot of mess that is very expensive. You know, it is very expensive. I mean,
Mm.
I can tell you, Dr. Charles, you know what? I got a great deal. I just broke a deal right now. I need you to come into this deal because what happens? You are buying into emotions because you know Richmond. You've not taken the pain to say, Mr. Richmond, can we talk about this? Why is this, and how is that?
Mm.
And you just bought into it because I told you to come into it. And then you drag the whole bunch of people into it. And at the end, I'm going to tell you, you know what, Dr. Charles, that didn't work out. Well, you see, the funniest thing is I never took into account the thousands of people you dragged into it.
Wow.
I'm just dealing with you one on one. And you are sitting down there lamenting, oh my God, my reputation just got messed up because I believed in this, my friend. But you see, you never even, you see that word, do your due diligence. People take it very literally. They don't take it seriously.
Mm.
You know, they don't dive into, I have been a victim of it. Believe you me. And you know that. I have made my mistakes, you know. I have done the same thing because I've gone into businesses emotionally with people. So first things first
Mm.
is for Africa because Africa is that gem that is going to propel the rest of the continent into glory. Africa has the manpower, Africa has the resources, Africa has the know how. Unfortunately, we're not sitting
Mm.
down, we're not bending down, and we are conformed to the situation in which we are. But these situations don't define us, but we're letting it define us. It's hard.
Mm.
Nobody's going to say it's not hard. I mean, there's one thing I always tell my kids. Let's just to take the word out of context. I, I always tell my kids, life will never stop dealing with you. It's impossible. It will
Mm.
throw you a lot of garbage. But you know what? You have to learn to adapt to it. My problem is not your problem. Your problem is not
True.
my problem. You can tell me your problem. I can sympathize with you because I have my own stuff too. But the thing is, always show up. Always be the one to pick up a book. Always be the one to go research. No matter even if is the president telling you about it. Do your second check. So that's what I'll say
Mm.
about that.
Wow. Wow. That's powerful. She's still just increasing the the word that came to my mind is increasing the volume on that point. And what's the point I'm talking about? Um, people have a very short wavelength or they have a very short lifespan to understand pressure. And one of the things I've learned from very skilled business people and people that are actually within the hem of success that we admire is they've been able to understand the power of courage. I used to tell people courage has no definition if there's nothing to be courageous about. So you've had past failures, but that didn't stop you. And so, what would you have to say to someone now that have said, "Oh, because I did this in the past." In short, the narrative now people frog, which is also another dangerous extreme, is that people have failed in one, two, three things in the past, and they made up their mind and say it's over. I'm not doing it again. It's nana. I'm not doing anything again. It's over. And the dangerous extreme of that is that they settle with a failed story without understanding that their life is actually a storyline that's leading to, and every year is like a page, every month is like a page. But the real business people are people that, they end up finding the 1% of success in the midst of 99% of failure. I wonder about Thomas Edison and Co. And you exemplify that 1% because, like you said, I have known several things, that you've been through that naturally, the natural human being will just say, oh, let me stop here and it's over. But you keep going. So it means that there must be something that's driving that staying power. What is it?
Okay. Uh, don't ever take no for an answer. Who said that Bill Gates has two heads? And why? If he's not learning from his mistakes. We have to have the ability to be able to learn from our mistakes. Reid Hoffman, if you know him, the former co-owner of LinkedIn, before he sold his company to Microsoft for, I think, $26 billion, a guy asked him a question and said, how did you do this? So listen, I failed. But the beautiful thing to this question you asked was the same thing that was asked to him. And he said, you know what? I went back to my friends and I asked them, what is that thing that makes you people think I will not succeed? One, you have to be teachable. You have to be learnable. You have to be ready to be corrected. You have to take criticism from people, but you never give up. If the goal, remember what we said in the beginning, if you set the goal already, stick to it. Because if you don't touch that goal, let it be due to death, because that is inevitable. You made that goal for yourself. You set the goals for yourself. Touch that goal. Nothing is impossible. And very, very importantly, I don't care what religion you are, have a connection. That's all I can say to it. So.
Wow, amazing, amazing. So prospectively, we're looking at the fifth industrial revolution, and just in terms of context, so people understand. Let me just give a brief of summary. The world used to live in the third industrial revolution. You sure everything we know about SMEs, business, industries actually started with, especially the third industrial revolution. So there was a need for manpower. And so with manpower, what that also signified was that companies needed to create mass education, for people. And so several years ago, we actually started with, the third industrial revolution. And then, of course, it moved into the internet era. And, and now people still think we're in the fourth, but we are actually in the fifth. So in other words, the same way we're used to the fiat currency now, that is exactly what is going to happen in some time to come. People, there was this hype about NFT, and people think it's dead and buried, not understanding that they are going into the future. By the way, I was doing some research and discovered that children, I think they call them Generation Beta now. So any child that's born in the year 2025 to about 2000, I think 48, is Generation Beta.
Later.
And it's already a beta rather. It's already been stipulated that majority of the learning curve for those children will be far, far alien to whatever the baby boomers, Generation X, Gen Zs and all those things actually have. So the world still thinks we're still in the Gen Z era, not knowing that there's actually been a shift. But my main emphasis is when it comes to now currencies. I know you're someone that's actually quite very big in everything that's not fiat. As a matter of fact, for everybody watching, either you're watching it live or you're watching a rebroadcast, there is something I want you to take advantage of that I'm going to be sharing possibly immediately after the live. So please ensure that you're following me if you're not. If you're watching this on YouTube, please ensure that you subscribe. If you're watching it on Twitter or wherever you're watching, please ensure that you follow. We have quite a bumper packet that you need to take advantage of. First of all, it starts with what you need to learn. Mr. Richmond did say that in the beginning. What are you learning right now? One question I always ask people whenever I'm opportune to be in a training system is I always ask them, if you got today is Saturday now, if you get to work on Monday and you're told you're fired, what would you fall back on? So the reason why I'm asking that question, Mr. Richmond, is some people are not aware about the need for future planning. We're in the period of AI right now. Some people are still struggling with the basic internet stuff, and so what are, in your own words, looking at the next 10 years, what do you think may be some of the predictions or some of the projections that you see happening between now and the next 10 years?
Ladies and gentlemen, I can only say, point of correction to you, Dr. Charles, crypto is already here and in force. As far as fiat currency, my advice to everybody that is on this platform, run away from the banks. I think if all things goes well, I have not used fiat currency for the past 2 years. Everything I do, payment whatsoever, is in cryptocurrency. And last year, December the 30th, to put the icing on the cake, Europe signed the new MiCA regulation on cryptocurrencies, so which secures us actually, that we hardly get into scams and stuff like that. So which is wonderful. But yeah, I don't like talking about the number one currency in the world because it's a bittersweet relationship that I have with Bitcoin. Because I had an opportunity to have about 300 pieces of them, and stupidly, I trashed it.
Wow.
That is a story you don't want to get into, really.
Wow. We'll need to touch that after your points.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was naive. So, like you said, the baby boomers, my generation, for instance, for everybody on this call, I am 55 years old, so you can imagine. So yeah, it was. I saw it and I was like, what the heck is this? I have been in network marketing for the past 20-some years, or something like that. I started with Mway, and I'm used to the traditional way of doing things. Talking to people, going knocking on the door. And, then we, got into this digital stage, and that is where the learning process came in. And of course, to every new technology breeds its own negativity, and many people like myself fell victim to some of them. To some people on this call, please don't think you are the only one. Even someone like me, as whatever you think I might be, had fallen victim to it. So, because it's very sweet to sweet talk, when things come up newly, people take advantage of it. But I'll tell you right now, first of all, if you're not earning in foreign currency, you're wasting your time wherever you are. Number two, that foreign currency is being burnt out today. I don't know if everybody saw what happened during the tariffs war that has been going on. The market's been going up and down, right? A lot of people lost their 401ks. A lot of people that have been saving for retirement But like I tell people, cryptocurrency is on the blockchain. It's not immutable. It can be forged. It can't be faked. It's very transparent. You're not dealing with a bank that is going to use your money for whatsoever. So why would I not want to do it if I'm doing the right or dealing with the right cryptocurrency or the right platform that gives me that stuff? So I don't even know why some governments in Africa are not some, because I know governments like in West Africa, the Gambias, for instance, and stuff like that, they are already far into the future building really a crypto hub, put it that way, that is going to serve their people. Many governments are buying up a lot of wealth in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin to be precise. And last September, the UAE completely wiped off the use of their currency, even though it's still there. But everybody that you can pay, use, do everything in crypto and tax free, business tax free, if you're using BTC in whatever operations. So it just tells you we are there. It's just for the average human being that is out there. We are still naive because it is very comfortable. The word comfortable to use that paper. And that's just it.
Wow, comfortable to use that paper. I like that. Amazing, amazing. There's something you said. I'm very sure a lot of people did not get you that for the past 2 years, you've not actually used fiat currency. That's also because you also live in a place where at the end of the day, the paper has actually already started losing its value. So the question I have right now is what would Africa needs to do to begin to tap into the benefit? Or first of all, let me say it like this so that people don't think about this words being ambiguous. Can you, in a layman term, explain what the blockchain technology basically is, and to demystify what people think about blockchain?
Okay. Just
In a
in a
layman
very
term.
in a very simple way. Blockchain technology, this is really so big. Oh God, you just throw me into the water. Blockchain, in a very simple way, is a transaction. But I don't even know the word to use for it. It's a system, just like you have in the banking system, a ledger, and all those stuff. All transactions are being there, but this is technologically in a system programmed that you and I can't hack. You and I cannot erase, forge, whatever. It is, when I tell you it is $100 for this pen, it is $100 and the receipt is in the blockchain. People are now putting in deeds of houses, expensive Rolex watches. I mean, I know companies, when you buy things, they don't give you a receipt. They give you a blockchain number because it can be faked. So blockchain is just, you can see it, you can touch it, but it's just in the system. People log into it. That's, and that's just how it is. So when you ask the question, what do people need to do government-wise and stuff like that? I think it starts with our leaders to start with, because most of our leaders are very, very, if they want to do the right thing, let me use that word, if they really want to do the right thing and help the average person to understand how to really do business, they will embrace the blockchain, which many of them already have, actually, but they use it probably for their own selfish, deeds. But the only negative thing about blockchain or blockchain technology is it's like me asking you for your bank account. So the system knows you and knows me. Now, the other way around is if it's on the blockchain, they don't know you, nobody knows me. So, and that's why we came up with this MiCA regulation for Europe and stuff like that, because then this money laundering and stuff like that, it can be checked.
Yeah.
But the only way you can check it is to register your wallet. You see that? So when your wallet is registered, we know, okay, Mr. Martins did move $20 million, you know, to the blockchain because there's no name to anything, or did receive $20 million. Yeah, it's another form of control, but we're fighting against it. The resistance is fighting against it because we don't want it. But on the other side, business-wise, something has to give, because think about what it's going to do for a lot of economy. People that work in the bank are going to lose their job, definitely. So unemployment is going to happen in the banking sector, and people, it's not easy. I mean, corruption is being carved, but the government will not want to give up this stronghold because they funnel their own money also through that means. So it's if the government wants to do the right thing, they would start educating, adopting, teaching their people about the alpha generation, the beta generation, the next level. And that's why when you meet some of these young kids today, Jesus Christ. It's the same food they ate that I ate growing up, probably different. Maybe mine was too carbohydrates and theirs is too, I don't know what they eat, but the way their IQ is wired, it's incredible. I mean, my youngest daughter picks my computer and will eat that stuff up in 2 minutes while I'm still struggling to look for where is the P. So, this is just
Wow.
it's a challenge, brother. It's a challenge.
Yeah, powerful. So if I'm to use permit me to share in Shein's voice of channel, you already know what's up when it comes to what people think about crypto. I'm focusing on it because I really want to help people to demystify some of the wrong ideas or the myths that they actually hold when it comes to what is the wrong way to proceed with thinking about futuristic currencies like crypto, NFT. It's almost like a forbidden word now a large percentage for Nigeria. It's almost forbidden. That's because people have actually seen the other side of it. So, what do you think people need to begin to find first if they are going to legitimately take advantage of opportunities within the blockchain, NFTs, and co? What should people be looking at? Well, why is it, first of all, why is it bad in Nigeria? Why does it look like a taboo for Nigerians to think about
Okay.
that?
I think that's a question that is channeled to a lot of people in Nigeria. But from what we read that are outside Nigeria here, of course, you and I know we get only the negative vibes. This did this and that did that, and these boys are doing whatever they're doing with. I mean, I have a different take to the whole thing because I often always say, listen, these guys are looking for a way to expand the next horizon, right? Why don't you, instead of whooping the horse, teach them, give them a landing space where they can really exhibit the craft they have, and make it safer. Seriously, make it safer for them to be able to operate. So I think the government is going about it the wrong way in Nigeria, but I cannot speak to it because I don't live there. But I know most of the thing I get from many Nigerians are that, mostly the young ones are that, I can't even carry a bag like this. I can't even hold a phone because everybody thinks I'm one of these guys, that is doing something negative. So that is on one side. On the other side, we equally see some people that do things like this and honestly are hurting the chances of the government trying to help the community to be able to learn these new things. But I think the present government should listen to what a lot of young people are saying. Hey, listen, I'm a big fan of people going and studying in the university. I have no problem about this. But I always tell people finance, there are life lessons you cannot learn in the university. Some people don't even have the opportunity to go to school or university, but their brains I, I, I mean, 70% capacity of them has gone so far. These guys just need to calculate, and you will. So put those people to work. Get some of these people, take them out of the street, and give them something. Teach them how to code. Teach them how to look into projects and do some due diligence, and teach them how to really invest, proper way of investing in companies, not just the S&Ps and the DAX and all of them, but really focus on crypto, and because this is here. It's the next generation. There's nothing you can, bro. I'm telling you, if it's too bad, I'm giving, because I always said a 5 to 10 years plan. I see the world switching as earlier as in the next 5 years. I mean, countries are doing it now. Bahrain is doing it. UAE is doing it. You can pay literally. I have 5 crypto ATM cards that I use to go to the bank and withdraw and all of them. I pay for my my Google Pay on my phone on ATM. So it is already in vogue. So why don't we teach these people how to make it safer? Instead of just arresting people off the street and creating just all forms of rubbish out there for people. So this is how I see it.
Wow, powerful. So this I used to know that Nigeria actually had something called the e-naira. But let me just pause there. You said something that really just got my mind. So somebody on the call right now may just be listening and wondering, I'm a baby boomer. Maybe the reason why I'm not giving attention to crypto and a number of things now is because it's too complex for me to understand. So in that sense, and then why that is also very important, you also said something which is key. So the future is unsafe without an understanding of non-fiat currencies. So if that's important, SAP is there. I'm big on stocks as well. But one thing for generational planning, I know children right now, the best way to actually save for their future is to ensure that money is actually in something. It could be in stocks or whatever that can grow. But in comparing stocks now with, the new economy, like we're talking about crypto, NFTs and co, what is the advantage that you have? For example, now, if let's imagine that somebody has a savings account and they have 500,000, let me use Naira because we're in Nigeria, 500,000 Naira, a million Naira, 10 million Naira in the account. It begins to depreciate because of inflation. Is that the case for crypto holders as well?
Okay.
What makes yours different and more productive than the fiat?
Okay. Crypto. When we talk of in fiat, we talk of depreciation, right?
Yes.
In crypto, we talk of fluctuation.
Mm.
So, and why fluctuation? The more people, the law of demand and supply sets in. Okay, 94% of the world BTC of 21 million is already mined and consumed. 94%. So the whole world till 2140 is running for 6%. 6%. Now, let's do the math. Why do you think Bitcoin is going up? Because everybody wants it and it's so limited in supply. You get my feeling. That is why I told a friend, I said, Bitcoin is going to hit $180,000 by the end of this year. Predicted.
Per Bitcoin, right?
One Bitcoin.
Well,
if you set a 5 years plan, one Bitcoin is going to hit probably between 350 to 500,000 in 5 years by the end of 2030. Because limited in supply. Okay? So it sets in. So this is the thing. Now, you ask the question, for somebody who doesn't know this is complex or not, I started by saying education. And when I say education, You don't need to go back to school to learn this. You look
mm,
for those people that will give you the nugget. I know that it is hard sometimes to find them, but you are there, Dr. Charles. You're doing a fantastic job with what you're doing. You're teaching a lot of people and all of them. People connect with him. It's just it's little by little. You get pieces of it, what you need to be able to establish your business, okay, or to take it to the next level. And that's all you need. You don't need to know the complexity of everything. You just know the little bit you need, which is the P2P transactions.
mm,
How do I send? How do I receive? How do I give? How do I get? How do I? That's what you need. Now, when we start going deep into it, is I need to know if the money has gotten there. Okay, so I need the transaction hash ID. Ah, do you know that if I send you money to your bank right now, and maybe something happens and there's a situation and we go to court, court is going to order the bank to go get the big ledger. They want to see where I came to the bank, the process. I came, I signed, I filled, they transmitted it, and come on. Okay, thank God. Now, when you send money to people, it goes like this, and they've received it electronically.
mm,
Yeah. What's the meaning of that? It's just an LC. It's just an entity guaranteeing that you paid this money. Please pay Dr. Charles the money. Your money is going to come in the next minute. Now, the
mm,
profit that is always on it, do you know? You don't know. So you see, there's so many things involved in these financial institutions that, oh God, and what they do with your money, do you even know? Because if you start digging into it and say, oh, what does the bank do with my money that they keep making a lot of money and opening up branches? You don't know. But you see, you're dealing on something that is immutable, something that is locked in the blockchain. And all you need to know is, Dr. Charles, can you please send me your wallet address? And I'll send it, and it's there in less than 1 minute. That's it.
mm.
So
Wow.
learn the little bit you can learn. Start learning, get the right people that are going to teach you how to get there. And please do everything in your power to make sure that you don't fall into the wrong hands, because that could
Mm,
also be very dangerous for you going forward.
mm. Powerful. That was what I was going to ask because I think it's also have become a weapon for a lot of fraudsters, hackers and co. So I think you also talk about that a bit, and then maybe add this question to it as well. A lot of people believe that when it comes to Bitcoin, anything you've said so far about crypto, right, it's a gamble. Is it really a gamble? And because I remember when the internet also came, when social media became, years ago, it used to be Yahoo Messenger, Skype is gone now. Yahoo Messenger, that was quite,
No,
MySpace
no,
was
no, it's
there.
not gone. I know people who would still use it here.
No, 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 no. Officially, no. Officially, it's
Yeah,
go check. It's
yeah,
officially
yeah,
they're
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Then MySpace, Yahoo Messenger, all of a sudden it began to evolve, and people thought, oh, Facebook was for children. But right now, every major company in the world is on Facebook. The U.S. president, the everything, White House affairs, social media actually a key thing. And I'm seeing the same thing with crypto. But I don't just want to take my word for it. What do you really think? Is it a gamble, or you think people are just not doing it the right way?
I think a lot of people, even after 16 years in the market, crypto being in the market, a lot of people don't understand it. They don't know
Mm,
the power of what. Like I said, it's one topic I hate talking about that I love now today, like anything. I had the opportunity, but I played with it. So yeah, but
mm,
where I was is where a lot of people are till today.
mm,
You know, people refuse to renew their mindset. You know, people are still, when you tell people, I mean, imagine telling my father today about cryptocurrency. He's gonna look at
mm,
you, what? What? Right. Are you crazy? I'm like, I mean, we were talking about this, and I said, the money I sent you yesterday just depleted because the one that you have right now in your wallet is higher than the one. So, what are you talking about? They don't get it. But that is their generation. And people in my age bracket are like, we can't touch this. Nah, I, nah. And I'm like, okay, what are you scared about? Yeah, it just, yeah, tomorrow you have $10 and next week your $10 is gone. I'm like,
Mm.
okay, is that all you know about it? Nah, and then you have the other generation, which are the millennials. They come in, they're like,
Mm.
you tell them about crypto and they're telling you, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, this is my wallet address. And you're like, how did you get so fast in this stuff? Hey, they just brush it off. Then you tell the Gen Zs, they're like, you don't even need to say the word crypt. They know what you're talking about. And they are looking for
Mm.
the next way to make it faster, make it better, make it, you're just looking for and using it. And now we're talking about the alphas and the betas that are now creating
Mm.
sources in which we can use it on our everyday life. So basically,
Mm.
I had an email that came in yesterday. My airline is now giving me a loyalty program in crypto.
Wow.
For me to fly with them, I
Wow.
get this back in crypto. I'm like, all right, I'm already ahead of you guys. And businesses now, you can pay with crypto and all of them. So yes, it needs a lot of awareness from our side. I mean, people buy cars in crypto. We can see it online. It's
Mm.
not a joke. But the thing is, let's go back to the initial thing. Please, for everybody that is listening to my voice right now, learn to take risk if you want to go into business. Number one. But before you
Mm.
have to take risk, educate yourself about what you're getting yourself into. Get the proper person that will teach you how to go about it. Don't just get into it. I don't care what you're doing. Don't just get into something because you want to do it. Take it from me, I made the same mistake. I learned, I
Mm.
lost. I mean, if we have to put the total sum I've lost almost close to $500,000 in dollars in dabbling and playing around.
Wow.
Yes. Some people don't have that kind of
Wow.
patience, like you said initially. Some people just give up
Yeah.
and say, no, I'm done. Oh, well, you're done. Somebody's going to pick it up and continue. So
Mm.
learn and understand your business.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Unfortunately, sometimes I wish we have like 3, 4 hours but we want to keep to the tenets of the business
Yeah.
conversation with Charles, which is just within 50 minutes. And so we'll be wrapping up very soon. But in your last words to everyone out there, somebody is watching right now, they've heard what you say, and they don't know what the starting point is. And by the way, I think you also want to speak to the fact that yeah, I think you already said that, but I think maybe you should also emphasize that so people understand that the education of it is very important. Um, you don't blame people. People want more money. There are more needs than people have money to handle. The salaries are not enough. The business profits are not enough. So people are looking for the next big thing. So it's so easy for people to identify with Ponzi's and not understand that they need to take advantage of the learning aspects because what you learn never leaves you. In short, a thief, an armed robber can steal everything from you, but they cannot steal what you know, your knowledge bank. So how do you get to impress in people that the education of crypto has to be now? You don't wait for things to be. You don't join the bandwagon and say it's bad. You need to start learning now. So what do you have to say about that?
I would say it starts with people like you, for what you're doing. And I really need to commend and thank you for what you do, because this is selflessness. You soak yourself in there to getting the knowledge and passing it forward. So for everybody that is on this call, listening to my voice as well, um, look for that mentor, look for that person. Be learnable and teachable. Very, very important. Be open-minded. Crypto is not for the fainted-hearted. If you are willing to lose, be ready to face defeat as well. And it is not because of crypto, it is because of people. Okay, so get as much knowledge you can. You can read stuff and you don't understand it. Join. I know Dr. Charles has a lot of contacts in which you can connect with him, and he can connect to the whole world with people to get you every information. Take that opportunity and really do that, because a little drop every day that you pick up, that nugget you pick up, might be the nugget that makes you that million that you're talking about. I don't talk about money as in physical cash or crypto or whatever. I talk about wealth. Because for me, wealth is some questionable. I want to be able to leave things for my generation to come. And most importantly, my goal on earth is to be known for something. This is my personal goal. I want, just the same way I read in the history books about names, I want to be the 1% of the 1% that are actually making an impact to other people. So I implore every one of you, ladies and gentlemen, that is listening to my call. Honestly, I'll leave you with this word. And I think Dr. Elvis said it best the last time, and we re-echo the same statement. You have to be ready to fall down. Not once, not twice, not 10 times, not 100 times. You have to be ready to accept doors being shut to your face. You have to be ready for people to say no, 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 no. But never give up if that is your goal. Stand firm. You will touch the goal. Thank you.
Wow, powerful. That was really amazing. Has really been a wonderful conversation with Mr. Richmond, and really some powerful insight. Now, in just crowning this up, what I would just like to say, sometimes it doesn't matter what you agree with or what you don't agree with. What matters is on what premises are you building your belief. And why am I saying that? It's about the future. A future you don't prepare for will surprise you. A future that you don't recognize will not recognize your person. So the new non-entities of the future will be people that have refused to take the opportunities that are on ground today. So we don't just do this. You know me already in business conversation with chat. We don't just do this because we want to do it. We do this because in another 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now, people will remember this particular episode or this particular discussion. And so we ensure that our discussions are evergreen and they can impact. So if I should ask you a question, are you prepared? If something happens to you right now and then you are off the earth, have you really said you've left something on ground what the next generation remember you for? So it becomes important for you to now begin to think about AI. The world is already changing. The future of jobs, you want to go Google that, everything's already changing. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of currency is also going to change. Now, why am I saying this? We're starting an academy within the business zone community. We already have quite a number of people that are interested in understanding how to make this work. And we have opportunities that actually can, revolutionize what you have right now. If what you have is not good enough, it's not enough, you want to now ensure that it's a seed for something that can ensure it gives you the harvest form of it. And so if you want to be part of that, that's going to be, especially for those that are watching after this, you just want to look at the comment section, there's going to be a link there. ensure you click on that link and take advantage of becoming a part of our community. And that's really going to help you. You're going to get the education for those that want to go straight into investment, or where you're going to get all those things and do the best. Mr. Richmond, I kept talking about mentoring several months ago. He's actually one of my major mentor when it comes to my finances and ensuring that my future is or rather that my family and everything is future proof. And I want that same thing for you. You're never going to get enough salary to make you wealthy. You're never going to get enough business profit to make you wealthy. Relationships is what makes you wealthy. But beyond relationship, what comes out from this relationship is what keeps you wealthy for tomorrow. So in as much, forget about everything you have right now. If you have the latest 2025 Mercedes Benz, ladies and gentlemen, in another 5 years, it's going to be less the amount, is going to be less attractive. So the world is always revolving around the newness of things. I want to get into that right now. So you want to just thank Mr. Richmond. Thank you so much for this exposition. You brought quite a whole lot of knowledge that I think if we're going to get into a lecture, it's going to take us like another 7 weeks to 1 month to get. Really appreciate your heart, and
can I just
thank you
end
so
up
much for
with
being part
one
of
thing?
this.
Can I just quickly say
Yes,
one
please do.
thing real quick?
Yes,
I want to leave
you
you
can.
all with this, and that is don't ever be afraid to spend money because you will make more money. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So that's a wrap for all of us at the Business Conversations with Charles. We appreciate you for joining in. I don't take, even though it's just a single person, I don't take it for granted. So if you're here and you're watching, thank you so much. If you're watching the rebroadcast, all you simply need to do, we do this at least 3 Saturdays in every month. Sometimes we have a whole full month. We're going to have a very special guest in June, or several special guests in June. You don't want to miss out. What you need to do now is two things, and it's so simple. If you begin value, you want to ensure that you are doing one of these three things. If you're on YouTube, ensure you subscribe. If you're on Facebook, ensure that you're following me, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, ensure that you're following me, and you will not regret that you did. So from Charles Moseli, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you again, Mr. Richmond. Thank you for making this a wonderful conversation with us. And everyone, I want to say thank you and do have a wonderful weekend. God bless.